Hi, all right, so today's topic, wardrobe edit. By the end of this topic, if you don't feel sorry for Matt, that he has to live with me, just kidding. Yes, this is the time to be ruthless with your personal style. And so, someone's yelling in the alleyway. So I've basically taken all of my wardrobe out and I have dumped it in the gallery, because that's the first thing you have to do, is you have to essentially remove everything from your wardrobe and place it somewhere, because you need that separation from your wardrobe, so you don't have anything kind of skewing your judgment, or like you don't want anything to be like hung on the rack, because that will skew your judgment for how it is, because it looks different on the rack than it does separate from your wardrobe. So here's what I've done. This is my wardrobe. So it's actually quite a lot of clothing. So I'm going to show you how to sort through. I'm actually surprised. I have since November not purchased any new clothing since I started studying minimalism. I haven't purchased anything new, and I've actually been slowly getting rid of clothing, so I'm actually shocked to see that I have this much clothing lying around. Alright, so now that you've seen, alright, so some more rules. So you've removed all the clothing from your wardrobe, and then you want to have your color palette laid out in front of you. So until this point, we've kind of gone over like the overall silhouette that you want, the overall color palette that you want, and the overall mood that you're trying to go for, a little bit about who you want to be or how you want to communicate yourself as a person, and like also the functionality of the wardrobe. What does your lifestyle entail, and what kind of items do you actually need in your wardrobe to carry you throughout your day? So if you've been following me through this entire process, hopefully you've at least outlined all of those things and you can keep them in mind when you're going. So when you're sorting through your wardrobe, you want 3 piles. You want the keep pile, you want the maybe pile, and you want the definitely get a giveaway or donate pile. And then once you have sorted everything into those 3 piles, then you go back and sort through the maybe pile and filter down and finalize that until you have everything in either the keep pile or the giveaway pile. So those are kind of the groundwork. This can be a really, really hard process, because you are learning a lot about yourself by going through your wardrobe. I see. Thank you. Thank you everyone for joining in. I see people are logging on. So yeah, it's a hard process to go through your belongings, because it's actually a process of self-discovery. So you learn about you like revisit memories in a sense. You learn, okay, why did I purchase this thing to begin with? And you question like the value of something, like in relationship to maybe someone gave it to you, or I don't know, it's just like it can be hard to like let go of things. So my kind of advice for you, which I mentioned before on how to kind of let go of wanting to let go of things, is generally what makes it hard to let go of something, even if you don't really love it, is you're either super concerned with the past, like memories of the past and forgetting something meaningful for you from the past, or you're tripping out about the future, like what if I want this item then? What if I lose weight or gain weight and I wish that I still had this item? Or what if anything like this special event could happen or occur? So these are things that you want to really just be observant of. And sorry, I keep seeing things flash. Cool. So yeah, you want to just be really observant of these things and kind of gentle, but also just really real with yourself. Because what it comes down to when you sort your wardrobe is you either love something and it resonates with you, or you don't. And it really is kind of black and white in that sense. So how you know if you love something, it identifies probably with what you've outlined so far in regards to your personal style. And you actually feel it kind of in your body language, in your emotions, and you can even like try something on and just see how it feels on you. So I guess I'll start sorting through my wardrobe and kind of walking through a few more of these things. So what I have here is a clothing rack. Sorry, falling. Sorry. This clothing rack has seen some damage. I take it around everywhere. So this is my keep pile. I already have one thing on here that I'm going to keep. This I made myself. I know that I'm keeping it because this to me marks kind of a certain point within my developing my design skills, where I kind of started to find out really what my own personal style was. And it's made with really good quality fabric. It feels soft. It feels nice to wear. I just know like everything on this is quality because I handmade it myself, and so it's actually a trench coat. So this I'm keeping, and this is an example of a piece that I absolutely love. I know it's part of my personal style because it's exactly my color palette of black and grays, and so I'm keeping it. Same with this coat as well that I made. This is another one of my minimal coats that I made that helped me to actually define my personal style. The material is high quality, and so these are two pieces that I just absolutely know I'm going to keep. And I'm not saying this about everything I've made. So, just so you know. This is another piece that I've made, the trench coat, the jumpsuit. So this is part of what helped me to define my personal style as well, because it helped me to relate almost the science and stuff to having a personal style. So, another rule, so when you go to give away things, you might have trouble with something that was like gifted to you, or yeah, someone gave it to you, and so you feel almost an obligation to keep something. So here's how I want you to think about that. The person that gave it to you did not give that to you with the intention that you would feel like obligated or even guilty for keeping it. So they gave it to you because they wanted you to enjoy it, but overall, like in the grand scheme, they just don't want you to feel guilty. So if something is given to you as a gift, you can acknowledge that kind of emotion or that attachment. You can acknowledge that person and what it means to you. So an example is this. This is from my mom. She got it for me. I actually asked her to buy it for me, and and I love it. I've had it for like 5 years, and yeah, it was at the time such a fun piece to have, like a onesie with like a tail, and it has a lot of memories attached to it, like my friends wearing it, and but for me, since I'm trying to overall clear out the space and make room for like a more modern style, and I'm already suffering from having too many belongings, I'm just acknowledging that I love that my mom gave this for me, and I love that she encouraged me to have kind of a fun sense of style and have kind of fun items of clothing, and overall just to like pick out what I wanted, and so you kind of hold it and just acknowledge the memories that it provided for you, and just be like able to kind of let go and just know that by gifting something or donating something, like you're allowing someone else to enjoy it. So that brings me to my next point. If you want this for like a music festival or something, then you can come to my clothing swap, which is this Saturday at the gallery here. It is a few blocks up from Pride, the gallery. So if you want to check out San Francisco Pride events, you can essentially just stop in and be kind of a part of the clothing swap too. So it's convenient like that. Or yeah, take a break from all of the partying and festivities of Pride. So yeah, so this I'm putting away to give away. Okay, so I have also kind of a pile of kind of costumey things that I wear for like special events that I actually made this piece as well. So these are a little tricky. So it's okay to have kind of a secondary wardrobe for things that you don't wear frequently. So I actually have that archives of like some vintage clothing and stuff I've collected. But this, I'm still like, it's kind of, you know, it means something to me because I made it. I do like the colors. I'm not completely convinced, so this is for me probably a maybe, just because it's not as like modern, or the silhouette's a little bit different, like I've just progressed too in my design technique. So this goes into a maybe pile. So if you have maybes, there is like one thing you can do. You can essentially store them away out of sight for a period of like 3 months, and if you don't miss them, or you don't think about them, or you don't wear them, then you definitely should just pass them on or give them away. I don't know if I necessarily agree with this. Like, I think it's better to try and just make that decision outright. If you do get rid of something, you can essentially like replace it. Like, give yourself like the peace of mind that, okay, if I get rid of something that I really, really like, okay, I can go out and buy a new kind of version of it, or an updated version of it. So you can tell yourself that story to help give yourself peace of mind, but essentially what actually happens is that you've moved on in your style, and you don't necessarily go and actually miss something that you've given away. So if things fall into a gray area, I just encourage you to take that leap of faith that you can always go shopping and get something new that does resonate with your personal style more, or yeah, so I think I will keep going. So let's see, I have, so basics too. I'm going to talk about basics. So the tendency with basics that is that people tend to be like, okay, this is a great deal, this is cheap, I'm going to get 3 of these and 5 different colors. And so I tend to disagree with that, because I don't know, I used to be of that mentality, like, okay, I want lots and lots of basics, and I want them to be cheap, and I don't want to spend any money on them. But I encourage almost the opposite mentality for that. You can get good quality, like basic loose t-shirts, usually for like a really good price, but be like conscious of like just how much space they get in your closet, and don't just buy something because it's on sale. Like, I guess I'll talk more about that in shopping, but for basics, I just encourage you to kind of opt for like quality. So I actually have 2 black jumpsuits. I don't know where the other one is. because these are the things that you're wearing every day. So yeah, that's the mentality I'm just encouraging you to explore, is if you're wearing something actually every day, you might want to actually invest in it, in the quality of it, because it will actually last longer that way, and you'll be more like encouraged to want to take better care of the item, and then it will also be hashtag minimal. Hi Britt. Let's see. Hi Sis. Hi Carolyn. It's great to see you guys. Thank you for joining in. Feel free to ask me any questions or argue with me too if you want, or make fun of me. I don't care. So yeah, I have this. Let me see if I can find the other one. So I know you guys just actually tuned in, so I'm going to show you I'm going to walk you through kind of what has happened. So just to recap the steps, you want to empty out the entire contents of your wardrobe, and you want to separate it away from your closet, because if it's in your closet, if it's hanging, you won't have as clear of a perspective on what you actually own, and you'll be a little bit skewed to keeping things that don't represent you. So this is all my clothing. So I've taken it out of my closet and I put it in the gallery so I just wouldn't be skewed. So back to talking about basics. So I can't find the other spandex bodysuit that I have to demonstrate completely, but because there's so many clothes, like once I log off I'm going to finish this. But essentially I have this one that is from Forever 21. It's got a lot of like wear and tear on it. The fit isn't like that great, but I've been really attached to keeping it. This is, for the record, like before I stopped shopping at Forever 21. Like I've had this for a long time, but somewhere in this pile I have another stretchy black onesie that's made with organic fabrics. It has like a lot of details kind of in the construction. My mom bought it for me, and I've just been attached to keeping both of them because for whatever reason, I've had some fear about not having enough of the same thing. So what I'm going to do is, when I find that one, I'm going to keep the one of higher quality, and I'm going to gift away this one. Okay, functionality. So I'm keeping my blazers because this is part of the functionality of my wardrobe. Sis, love seeing your wardrobe exploded all over the gallery. The wardrobe of a minimalist in progress. Yeah, so before you logged in, I shared with the camera that I haven't purchased any clothes since November, since I started studying minimalism, and I've actually been getting rid of clothes since I started studying minimalism, so I'm actually in shock at how many clothes I still have. So so this one, yes, I need a blazer. This is it's nice. It represents like the needs of my lifestyle, like something like a blazer. Black is definitely in my color palette. The silhouette is a little bit different than, well, it fits into my silhouette because it does come in at the waist, so it could be something that will go with other pieces in my wardrobe. So I'm keeping this. In comparison, by the way, like this is the insanity. These are all tiered hangers. So every tier has like 5 more items of clothing. Anyways, I think it's actually very challenging to walk you through my own wardrobe edit, so I just want to open it up for questions. And what is the best way to get rid of clothing other than donation? Is there a way to recycle textiles that are too worn? Oh, yes. I've actually studied this, and it's a really sad thing that recycling textiles doesn't really exist, and here's why. Because most textiles are blends of both natural fibers and synthetic fibers. And so there is really no way to separate once you've created a blend of, like, essentially coming from petroleum is the source for most synthetic fibers, and something like cotton or wool. So once you blend the two, there really is no technique for separating them, which is very depressing. So yeah, in theory, if you have 100% cotton, that could biodegrade. And I actually don't know, some companies, I think Patagonia is one of them, are really progressive in this sense. You can fact check me on this, but in the sense that they are recycling their brand, so they're setting up programs. So this goes back to when I talked about integrity a couple days ago, and that when you research brands that support like your values and stuff, that's something you can look for. There are a few brands that have kind of the end of their clothing in mind. I mean, that's also part of why I say, like, invest in your basics, because they will last longer, and also learn how to care for your garments, so they last longer. And another reason to try and support for brands that make quality garments, because essentially they will last longer. And yeah, it's a tricky thing, because people don't necessarily, like, when you get an item of clothing and it comes with an instruction manual on how to take care of it, and you're used to fast fashion and you're used to just throwing away your clothes, it's a hard mindset for people to kind of get out of and go back and be like, oh, actually I need to wash this or dry clean this, or wash it by hand, so it's just a hard mentality to shift. That's part of what I want to do, is I want to change people's mentality, so that they do care for their clothes, and they are more in, like, this integrity mindset of just picking quality over quantity. So yeah, there really isn't much you can do. Donating clothing is the best thing really that you can do. But yeah, lots and lots of clothing goes into the landfill each year. Any other questions? I have a pile to sort through. Yeah, I'm just I run through some of the ground rules again really quickly. So you want to consider through each item, you want to consider if it fits what you've outlined for your personal style so far, but it outlines for your functionality, and if it is in line with your color palette. If it falls into a gray area, like I have a couple things that aren't exactly in my color palette or exactly in the silhouette, that's where functionality takes a pretty good role. Like, are you actually going to, have you worn this for something that's kind of part of your lifestyle recently? And then the other thing is, like, do things in your wardrobe go together? Because when you tighten up your wardrobe, you can actually get a lot more looks if you have a cohesive storyline, because you can mix and match things to go together more easily. So you can actually only have a few things, but you can really style it differently. So and then yeah, the 3 piles that you eventually narrow down to 2 piles. Pile 1 is things you're definitely keeping that you absolutely love. Pile 2 are the maybes, and pile 3 is the giveaways and the maybes you want to filter and filter. And if you are having a question about anything, just check with yourself that if you're keeping something because you feel obligated or because you're afraid of the past or the future, then, and there isn't like an overall feeling of, oh, I love this, or like this really resonates with me, that I just challenge you to not be afraid to give it away, because there is no shortage of clothing in this world right now. So if you've given away something and you find, which is rarely the case, but if you do find that, oh my gosh, I really miss that, having something like that in my wardrobe, like, you can go out and like repurchase something or repurchase something similar. So that just helps to give you at least that initial peace of mind that you can always add back into your wardrobe. So and then yeah, the clothing swap is here on Saturday. There's an event link on my page. I can reshare it right now, and I hope to see you there. You see now how many clothes I'm going to be giving away at the clothing swap, so hopefully that encourages you to want to come out. All right, thank you.